Ethel's breath misted in the crisp Highland air. She'd traded the bustling city for the isolated charm of a moss-covered cottage, its windows gazing out at a swathe of wild heather and rolling moors. The scent of damp earth and peat hung heavy in the air, a symphony of wildness that sang to her soul. The first sight of Elian was unexpected, a rugged silhouette against the dramatic backdrop of a twilight sky. He stood by the ancient stone wall bordering her property, his gaze fixed on the sky. He wore a heavy woolen coat, his features sharp, his hair the color of spun flax. He moved with a natural grace, almost a part of the wild landscape itself. "You've arrived." Elian's voice, gravely and deep, seemed to rise from the very ground itself. "The lilac moon has risen." He gestured towards the sky where the moon hung low, casting a ghostly lilac glow upon the moors. "It is truly breathtaking," Aethel admitted, finding herself mesmerized by his presence as much as by the ethereal moon. Elian merely nodded, his eyes meeting hers for a brief, intense moment, before he turned and walked back towards the shadow of the moor. The air, heavy with anticipation, throbbed between them. Aethel knew, in that single magical moment, that she was about to witness a love story unfold. Ethel's dreams became increasingly vivid, filled with whispers of ancient Gaelic, the sounds of wind whistling through the rugged stones of ancient cairns, and visions of figures clad in dark flowing robes, dancing amongst the heather. One morning, she stumbled into the kitchen, eyes wide, her heart pounding. "Elian," she gasped, finding him making porridge over the crackling fire. "Last night, the dreams, the wind. I heard stories, ancient ones." He paused, his gaze thoughtful as he stirred the porridge. "The spirits of the land have always been active here. This is ancient ground, but you need to be careful," he warned. "It's not all tales of enchantment." "What are you talking about?" Elian's eyes glinted. "The wind has whispers. The moor keeps secrets." He paused then. "Don't fear the dreams, Ethel. Embrace them." His words, spoken with quiet authority, somehow calmed her apprehension. She felt, more than ever, connected to the spirit of the Highlands. And, beneath the surface, a strange, unsettling pull towards Elian. Ethel's brushstrokes flew, attempting to capture the shifting beauty of the moors. One day, a patch of untouched heather drew her further inland. There, hidden amongst the mossy rocks, lay a circle of ancient standing stones, weathered by time. They radiated an uncanny energy, beckoning her closer. Elian, noticing her absence, found her by the stones, her face pale. "What is it?" he asked, concern in his eyes. "Elian, these stones, they're older than we can imagine, but why?" He stepped closer, touching a worn stone. "They tell a story, one whispered by the wind, and preserved in the land. This place, it's the heart of the moor." He gestured towards a smooth, round stone embedded in the center. "A burial site, from a time long past." Elian touched the center stone, his fingertips cold, and spoke again. "Their stories echo in our blood, Ethel. We are all connected to this land." His words stirred something deep within her, a sense of belonging and a desire, as wild and powerful as the moors, to discover the secrets they held. For days, the ancient stones haunted Ethel's thoughts, influencing her artwork. She set down her brushes and started painting on a canvas large enough to capture the full sweep of the moors, a vibrant scene depicting the cairns bathed in the eerie light of the lilac moon. As she worked, she felt an undeniable sense of belonging, an innate understanding of the wildness of the Highlands. The paintings captured something profound, the essence of the moor, and, in a flash of intuition, she knew it would be a turning point. One night, the scent of smoke and rosemary wafted into Aethel's studio. "The annual harvest festival is tonight," Elian announced, holding out a hand-woven cloak, dark and luxurious as the night sky. "Your family's friends have invited you." "But it's only the city folk," Aethel protested. She felt a tremor of resistance. "They want to meet the artist whose work has become the talk of the town. And I would be honored if you'd allow me to accompany you." He stepped closer, his eyes sincere, and his presence a whirlwind of emotions. He held her gaze, daring her to admit what both of them already knew, that their connection was something fierce and untamed. Beneath the light of the lilac moon, the harvest festival crackled with life. Laughter mingled with the clatter of traditional instruments, yet Aethel felt like a stranger amongst them. As the dance reached its climax, she excused herself, retreating to a secluded bench, hidden amidst the swaying heather. Elian followed her, his concern apparent. "You don't belong here, do you?" he said, his voice a low murmur in the night. "It's not them, it's me. I've been trying to fit in. It's like I've been looking through a veil, never truly seeing or feeling the real me." Aethel's voice trembled. "There's a voice inside me now. I hear it in the wind and in your eyes. I know it's true. I belong in the Highlands, not amongst the city folk." He smiled, an unspoken promise shining in his eyes. He knew, just like she did, that they were on the verge of a new beginning, under the lilac moon, beneath the vast Highland sky. The silence stretched between them, charged with an undeniable intimacy. Elian reached out and cupped Aethel's hand in his touch sending a shiver down her spine. "My grandmother used to say," Elian began, his voice husky, "that the wind carried the echoes of love. And in her voice, I hear your name whispered." "The whispers of the wind are a strange thing," Aethel responded, captivated by his tones. "But they seem to be growing louder." He pulled her closer. "A story, a song. That's what we have become. A tale etched into the heart of the land, whispering in the wind." He gently kissed her forehead. "It's more than a story, Elian. It's a symphony, an unfolding journey." Their love, a wildflower blooming amidst the heather, had a life of its own. Yet the fragile beauty of their world was tested. A thick fog shrouded the Highlands, blanketing the moors in an ethereal, unsettling veil. "The old folk say," Elian said, "that the fog holds ancient secrets, remnants of lost souls who have no peace." Aethel shuddered. The air crackled with an unnerving tension. Then, as swiftly as it arrived, the fog parted, revealing a stranger approaching their cottage, his clothes torn, his face etched with worry. "There's a storm brewing," he warned, "and you need to be prepared." "The mountains, they remember." Elian nodded, apprehension flickering in his eyes. "I know." His eyes met Aethel's, and a shared sense of danger shadowed them both. The mountain winds howled, whistling through the ancient standing stones like a symphony of ancient anguish. The skies darkened, as though the moor was holding its breath. Aethel felt a chilling dread creep through her, mirroring Elian's. Their home was surrounded by the swirling mist, the wind whipping through the surrounding woods like the ghostly howls of wolves. It felt like a cruel mockery of their dreams, of the life they'd begun to build together. Aethel gripped Elian's hand, her fingers trembling, her eyes reflecting the storm's intensity. A voice, soft and strong, seemed to echo from deep within her. The voice of the Highlands, a spirit older than time. It beckoned her to move forward, into the heart of the tempest, into a new dawn. As the storm abated, the clouds parted, revealing the soft pink and gold hues of a brand new dawn. "The trials of the land test our courage," Elian whispered, his voice tinged with a hint of exhaustion, "but it also reveals our true strength." He leaned in, his arms around Aethel. They watched the sunrise, the colors reflected in their eyes, mirroring the rising light, a reflection of the spirit of the moor, the ancient tales whispered by the wind, and the echoes of their love that danced through the mists of the Highlands. Aethel knew, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that their story was just beginning. It was a tale written in the whispers of the land, etched into the moors, and imprinted on their souls. A love born under a lilac moon. A love meant to bloom for eternity.